You guys will recall that, of course, we had, the Pedro Pascal news. It seems like he's going to be our Reed Richards. It seems like he might be the only one that is signed, okay? This is kind of weird. This is like, when I heard this, I was like, ugh, I don't know about this. Casey Walsh says, so it sounds like Pascal is the only one who is set, and other castings will center around him, meaning chemistry tests and more. So it may be some time before anyone else gets confirmed. But I thought they were going to shoot in January. Like, if they're shooting in January, the shit has to be confirmed. You know what I mean? I mean, look, before I give my take on this, like, what's your take on this? Like, what do you guys think about this? Because I've got a take. Love this cast except for Pedro. Yeah, wish it wasn't Pedro. Here's the take when it comes to Pedro Pascal in this whole casting situation. Pedro Pascal and this Fantastic Four cast is literally the SAT question of which one doesn't belong. And the irony here is that they're going to take the dude that's the answer to that SAT question and now try to do chemistry tests with all the actors around him that actually seem way better for their individual roles. So we might actually get an even worse Fantastic Four cast because they are centering it around Pedro Pascal, who was, when announced, almost universally met online with like a fucking eyebrow raise. Even the most pro-diversity, pro-left-leaning politic woke people, that whole group of people, all the people, you know, the usual suspects, even they were like, I like Pedro, but does this shit even work? Is this even the right guy? So now that dude, they're gonna base and shape and mold the entire cast around fucking Pedro Pascal, the worst choice out of the four. It's mind-blowing. It's mind-blowing, dude. I don't want to be on this Fantastic Four ride anymore. I want to get off of the ride and just like show me the movie, and hopefully it's not utter trash, because almost everything that I'm hearing about this movie, the rumors, the leaks, the casting, all this shit, all of it sounds questionable at best. I'm not saying they can't make it work. Maybe it'll be dope as hell. Maybe they've got some ideas here, some concepts, some things that are going to be so fucking cool that we'll all sit back and be like, you know what? Wow, shocking. They nailed it. This is incredible. I'm loving this. But from where we're at right now, I'm like, I hear this from Casey Walsh, and I just want to slap Kevin Feige with a wet salmon. Just right across the face. Just a nice just crack, like a wet salmon. Just, you know, like right across, and be like, what the fuck are you doing, bro? Because this seems absurd. And they're like locked in on him. That's what I think is so weird. They're like locked in on Pedro. We've had the roller coaster ride. Jake Gyllenhaal, Adam Driver, Dev Patel, John Krasinski, Penn Badgley, on and on and on, on and on and on. And now we've arrived at the worst choice out of all of them. And they're going to rebuild the cast based on that. So let's just say that I have the Fantastic Four movie in the category of I don't know about that shit. So that's kind of interesting. So Adam says, if this is true, doesn't that debunk the Sue is the lead theory? I don't think it necessarily debunks that, but what it indicates is that the role of Reed is really, really important to either this film or to the future, right? So like Reed's a big deal, and Reed's probably going to be a big deal during Secret Wars and past Secret Wars. Maybe what they're really saying here is like, we need to have these people have good chemistry with Pedro and have it actually feel like authentic and all of that, right? So the chemistry reads and all of that. Maybe that's what it's indicating. I still believe the story that Sue is the lead. Who knows for sure? Would love for that to be wrong. Like, that also feels like a really silly idea. Again, we don't know. They could have a concept and an angle that's really interesting and good. But like I said in my video breaking this down, my concern here is that they're making Sue the lead because they want to atone for the perceived problematic nature of the original book, in which Sue doesn't really do that much. And that's going to just drive me fucking crazy, dude. Like, that's absurd. There are plenty of awesome female Marvel characters that could be the center and focus of any kind of story. But the idea of like, oh, we want to uphold the tradition and we know it's Marvel's first family, and dude, this is such a big deal. It's so important. Oh, and by the way, it was problematic and now we have to change it from audiences. That is crazy dissonance. That is like what they did with the Snow White thing. And when Renee Zellweger said, you know, that the original movie was like this, that, second, and the third, it's like, okay, but you signed up to do a version of that original movie. You can't elevate the thing, highlight the thing, and hold it up while also calling it this problematic thing that needs to change. Yeah, Mila Kunis as the Thing might be on the I bet Mila Kunis as the Thing would have a much better chemistry with Pedro Pascal because they both feel awful for the roles. So, maybe that's what it is. I didn't think of that. Yeah, maybe that's what it is. And again, this movie's supposed to shoot in January. The curtain's got to lift eventually. They got to bring some people out eventually, dude.